The Vision is here as our information officer.
Great. We got a computer to talk to the computers for us.
One more month left until 2026. Why don't we discuss the future of the gaming industry? The topic of AI is still continuing.
It wouldn't be another day in the gaming industry if there wasn't some mega rich CEO trying to convince everybody to not only buy their product, but also in the meantime ask for less transparency. You know, today we're going to be talking about AI. It's a crutch of a conversation that has been happening pretty much all throughout the industry over the last year, especially ramping up extremely over the last month due to the rising cost of PC hardware because of AI and the bubble that is surrounding it. But this particular video is going to be about the conversation around AI because of Tim Sweeney, the CEO from Epic Games, who is trying to tell Steam that they should no longer be listing AI disclosures on their store. You know, I find it amazing that the store that is supposedly trying to compete without actually competing against Steam is trying to tell Steam that less transparency is a good thing. I never really quite understood this. I don't understand why Tim Sweeney is trying to say this. Well, actually, wait. I do. There is a lot of controversies currently going on right now surrounding Fortnite and the usage of their AI. There's a lot of controversies right now surrounding AI usage in other AAA games, like Call of Duty Black Ops, for example. AI is an interesting conversation that has a multitude of different personalities that are taking part in it, and today we're going to break it all down for everybody to view.
AI. Look, AI must be used as a tool, okay? Not as a replacement. Because some people still doesn't understand this. Look, I use AI as a tool, okay? Because there are times where you need some guidance or some tips what you need to do. You use AI, okay? I mean, yes, there are tutorial channels for you to view when it comes to getting more subscribers and all that sort, and any other methods, but sadly, that thing is done. You have to look you have to look some other places. Again, I have to say one thing. AI must be used as a tool. And also, I'm probably certain Hypnotic is going to say this. Journalists are afraid of AI because AI is going to replace them. No, generally, they are.
Hi, the name's Wyatt Wingfoot. In case you didn't know, I'm your pilot while you're here at Stark Tower. We'll be taking the Quinjet when you're ready to leave on a mission. Sure. What do you need? Discreetly. As in, don't let Fury know? Yeah, I can do that. Give me a little bit. I think I know just the person to ask.
We're close to the landing zone, so I'll be brief. Dum Dum Dugan recently sent a suspicious radio message requesting I meet him at the Omega base for a report on the latest super soldier serum.
What's so suspicious about that?
Dr. Banner was to give the report. The only thing is, Banner has been working on the Gamma Bomb project, not the super soldier serum. Dugan would never make a mistake like that. Something's up.
What is the Omega base?
It's a mobile lab that's over 5 stories tall. We use it for field testing experiments.
Oh, S.H.I.E.L.D's the greatest. Flying aircraft carriers,
Spider-Man still doesn't change.
Please tell me you've got a tunnel that runs from New York to Tokyo.
Spider-Man, this is serious. Colonel, is there anything on board the Omega that would be considered dangerous?
If the contents of that vehicle were to fall into the wrong hands, it would be disastrous for all mankind.
Exactly what are you developing that could threaten the entire planet?
Oh
That's
boy,
classified.
Stark.
So it's all right for us to save the vehicle. We just can't know what's going on there.
Correct. Now, if I may continue, the team's mission will be to sneak on board the Omega and locate Dugan. He should be able to bring you up to speed on the situation. Any questions? All right, good luck.
Okay, again, first off, apologies for the rain, but then again, don't forget, we're talking about AI and the whole meltdown and all that sort. Why don't we make it a theme? I hope I can talk right. So, here goes nothing.
AI in video games. So where did this all begin? This all started with Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney. Yes, Mr. Sweeney himself, the guy who said that he is not going to focus on adding any of the quality of life features or the social features that Steam has because, well, I guess he really doesn't want to compete with Steam at the end of the day. This particular CEO decided to make this statement over from Insider Gaming. It says the following: Epic Games CEO says that AI disclosure makes no sense for video game stores. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't believe this for a second. And I always advocate for more transparency from the gaming industry because, quite frankly, we just don't get enough. The gaming industry is allergic to transparency. They're like roaches trying to avoid the light. They don't like when things are transparent. And it's funny, you're going to try to get people that are going to say, well, AI isn't everything, so there's no reason why we should disclose it. That is a really weird argument. Do you look at the food labels and say we shouldn't be disclosing what's in this food because it's pretty much in everything now when it's mass-produced food? It's unbelievable. We should know what is in video games, and you should leave it up to the consumer to decide whether or not they want to participate in whatever it is that you're trying to sell them. AI is going to be no different. Sure, AI could be in every single video game, whether it's minor or whether it's major, and nobody is saying, or at least not me anyway, I'm not saying that the game can't exist, but what I am saying is that people should have the right to know what is in the video game. Flat out. Otherwise, why do you have other labels? You might as well remove all other labels in Steam. You might as well remove the fact that Metroidvania is a label because who cares? Everybody should know what's already in a genre like that. Why don't you remove Souls-like? Because who cares? Everybody should already know what's in a genre like that. No, the fact of the matter is AI being in a video game and being utilized by the majority of the gaming industry right now doesn't excuse the fact of having less transparency, in my opinion. Now, right now, there is a war going on within the gaming industry. You have the creative side of things that are trying to say that AI is complete slop and you should never use it ever, and that you should always hire people. Basically, the people who aren't in charge of the money are the ones that are trying to determine what to do with the money. And the ones that are in charge of the money are saying, no, we actually can utilize AI to do our jobs faster. We can utilize AI to replace people who are otherwise worse than AI. Like, there's a lot of things that AI can do that can provide us with avenues to make things happen quicker and try to maintain the same level of quality that we've been putting out, which...
Wolverine, never thought I'd be so glad to see your ugly face.
You keep up with all this sweet talk, Dugan, you're gonna make me blush. Now what's the story here?
A knockout gas was spread through the ventilation system of the base. I woke up to Dr. Doom demanding I bring Colonel Fury here or he'd ram the Omega into Vondrak Dam.
Well, the Tin Man must have forgotten his part of the bargain, because the base is headed straight for that dam.
I should have known. It was stupid of me to believe him.
Don't sweat it. If it weren't for your message, we wouldn't have come at all. Then where'd everyone be?
I suppose you're right. But our time's running out. Get me to the primary engineering control room and I'll stop the Omega before it can do any damage.
Okay, so where was I? Oh, interruption? So here's the thing. When it comes to AI, look, AI must be utilized as a tool, okay? Not as a replacement. Look, I use AI too, but not replacing myself, okay? Again, don't forget, I think this is good for indie developers because don't forget, indie developers mostly they have like what, a team of say 5, 10, how many of there is? Do you think they have enough time to make an open world game with just what? How many people? Now another good thing that AI can utilize is of course translation, okay? Because don't forget, right now, nobody likes a localization. They would prefer AI better than localization. Yeah, that's why they don't want localization, because if you watch every anime, when you compare the Japanese language and the English language on that anime, you can see the stark differences. That's the reason why they prefer AI better than localization.
Next time, I want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like bullshit.
So, again, I believe no, that's not it.
Team, I just had a thought. The section you're in contains the primary drivetrain. You could disable it. The Omega base would be forced to switch to the secondary drive. Not much, but it'd give you more time to reach the top of the base.
With most AAA games, it's probably not that great anyway. And then outside of the gaming industry, you're going to have the different of opinions between the journalists who are trying to all attack AI right now because they know that their jobs are on the chopping block and that a lot of them have already been replaced with AI. We've seen examples of this already. And then the ones that do stay that aren't being replaced by AI, they're already utilizing AI to pretend to be other fake journalists to put out slop AI articles. That way they can convince everybody these websites are totally booming, even though they've been firing people left and right. Gaming journalism over the last couple of years has lost about 25% of journalists, and they have not returned to the gaming industry. They are being let go. They are being fired because they're essentially useless for the most part. If they're not being replaced by AI, they're being replaced by YouTubers.
And also, folks, they attack people. They attack the consumers. Just like I say in my how to reset video in my second channel, we need to get gamers back into game development and journalists, okay? We don't want political...
Guess you didn't want a piece of me.
We don't want political activists. We don't want political activists in game journalism, okay? Oh, boom. Oh.
This is better than a spider bite.
See? We don't want... Remember, video game journalist, okay? What does it says? It says video game journalist. Video game. Yet, these journalists, most of them aren't gamers. They are activists. And I do mean some, okay? Not all.
Curse that infernal doom. I can't do anything from this control room. Not to worry, there's a control room just ahead. Hopefully Doom left it alone.
Now I want to focus mainly on what Tim Sweeney had to say about this entire situation, because some of these responses that he had for this particular conversation is honestly mind-blowing. So the article says the following: the CEO of Epic Games, Tim Sweeney, recently responded to a comment on X, formerly Twitter, that said Steam and other digital marketplaces need to drop the Made with AI label. Sweeney said that he agrees with that comment, adding that the AI tag is relevant to art exhibits for authorship disclosure and to digital content licensing marketplaces where buyers need to understand the rights situation. He then added that the AI disclosure makes no sense for game stores, where AI will be involved in nearly all feature production. When another user spoke about customers deserving to know, Sweeney poked fun at those statements, stating, "Why stop at AI use? We could have mandatory disclosures for what shampoo brand the developer uses. Customers deserve to know."
Sweeney's an idiot.
This guy, I gotta tell you, man, I feel like Tim Sweeney is proof that you could be a retard and still make it as a CEO for a company. Flat out. You just did the literal apples to oranges argument, and it's unbelievable that you actually think, number one, it's funny, and number two, it's a gotcha, number three, it made any sense whatsoever. You're an idiot. They're not utilizing shampoo to make the video game, so there's no reason to know what shampoo the developer used, you fucking moron. When you are utilizing AI to make the video game, then yeah, people have a right to know that you used AI to make the video game. And the fact that you're getting so upset over people knowing more information about the process of how you make your games and what you decide to utilize to make your games just shows exactly why we need product transparency in the first place. This is why. Because you are getting so upset, it proves to me that you have something to hide, essentially. Now, the funny thing is, this is coming from the CEO who is also in charge of Unreal Engine 5, the engine that everybody seems to hate because no developer knows how to properly use it for the most part. There's been, out of all the video games that have come out with Unreal Engine 5, 90+% of them have released completely broken or have this famous stutter issue or whatever the case may be. It's been an absolute shit show. It almost makes you wonder if there's AI to be blamed for that, whether it's AI coding or people, developers utilizing AI in some other manner built into Unreal Engine. Who really knows? Now let's go back to the something to hide metric, because this is where I really want to focus on. So Tim Sweeney is trying to say that you should remove the AI label from the stores, that you should not have made with AI because it's pointless, because almost everything is made with AI. And he's right. Right now, there is a controversy going on right now with Fortnite players, and this is probably only going to affect a small handful of Fortnite players. But if you're looking at these screenshots that are being shared over at Reset Era right now, there are screenshots of absolute AI art imagery being used in Fortnite. You got this one that says Uvola, which is basically like a jewelry brand, but it's completely made with AI. The worst one out of all the pictures by far is this particular poster that says relax faster, mile high retreat, relax higher, and it seems to be a Yeti, but if you pay attention to his feet, one foot has 5 toes and one foot has 4 toes. Gee, I wonder why that is. Surely that is not a creative decision by an artist that you actually paid. No, it's obviously AI. They're utilizing AI to make this art, and they wonder, like, of course you wonder why they want to hide the AI made with AI label. Even here, look at this Back to the Future Marty McFly picture that they essentially made with AI. It's got the typical Studio Ghibli look. You think they drew this? Of course not. They made it with AI. So Tim Sweeney is saying this because he wants to get rid of the AI disclosure label from any particular video games that are listed on these stores, so that people just don't know, right? Most people who don't watch these videos or aren't part of the conversation in any kind of, like, you know, sense, whether it's mainstream gaming media with articles and journalists, or whether it's watching YouTubers, if they're not part of the conversation, they're most likely not going to know. But it's only a matter of time before they see obvious connection between all the art, because all this AI art looks very similar to one another. And again, for me, I want to make it very clear, I don't mind developers utilizing AI as a tool. I feel like AI should not be making the entire game. I feel like AI should be used as a tool from skilled developers that know how to use it properly, and to make it easier for them to develop video games through their own personal creative process. But unfortunately, we are going to get to a point where, as they continue to rely more and more on AI, it's only a matter of time before AI completely takes over almost all development, and these developers get so lazy, or they get out of a job because the studios don't even feel like they have to hire developers. It's going to get there within a few years, 5 to 10 years probably. It's going to get there.
Well, that could be true though, although it could benefit the smaller team. Remember one thing, there is AA and Indie, and they have, like, what? How many people they have?
Enemy unit sighted.
Yeah, like 5. Wait, Tim Sherry. How many Tim Sherry? Oh yeah, I think Tim Sherry that made Hollow Knight Silk Song. Give me a minute. With this room. Now, Team Cherry, whereas, like, what? Yeah, so I think for experienced developers, because frankly, when you have small teams, you have to find other ways. You need some tools, okay? So here's the thing, like he says, AI should be used as a tool, not replacement.
Yes, this is better than I could have hoped. My old adversary, Iron Man.
Glad to see you remember me, Crimson Dynamo. It's been a while since I kicked your tin-plated butt.
You will not defeat me this time. My new battle suit is vastly superior to your armor.
Could have fooled me. You look like something from the early 1960s.
Mark me while you still can draw breath, Iron Man. Soon, you will be silenced forever.
Huh. You never could take a joke. Or a punch.
Everybody knows Unreal Engine 5 sucks, okay? I mean, there are some games that can do better, okay? Some games, okay? Not all.
I want to focus on the fact that Tim Sweeney is trying to tell Steam what to do. Meanwhile, Steam has almost double, if not triple, the amount of active users that Epic Games has, and they don't have to keep giving away free games in order to try to, you know, convince people to utilize their platform. Epic Games, last we heard, around, I believe, like 2023, had an all-time high of 74 to 75 million active users over on Epic Games, whereas Steam, back in 2021, that was the last time we actually got any number numbers from them officially, it was at 130 some odd million active users. And that was back in 2021. There are estimates out there of Steam having around 180 active million users right now, with the majority of it coming from China and English, where those two markets are exploding in terms of Steam usage over the last couple of years. So that could be a thing. But overall, we don't have an official number because Steam, since 2021, has not released any official number. Now, here's my major concern about AI and the overall conversation surrounding it outside of the actual gaming itself from a software perspective. I want to talk about AI's impact from a hardware perspective. Right now, we are seeing record-breaking price increases in terms of PC hardware, mostly RAM right now. It is unbelievable. I mean, some of the RAM that has been available for like $150 not even a year ago is now going up to $600-700. It's crazy. I'm personally happy that about a year ago I upgraded to 128 gigs of RAM. I'm glad I did it, you know, back then versus trying to do it now, because it's unbelievable what the prices are going to right now. We have an article here from IGN, and it says, concern that skyrocketing RAM prices are driven by AI needs will cause problems for high-end gaming for several years. Now, this is my biggest issue, okay, because high-end gaming has always been niche. All right, not everybody has a crazy rig. Most gamers have about an average rig, right in the middle, not too low, not too high. I think that what's going to happen is this AI boom that we're seeing, until the bubble bursts, the amount of price increases that we're going to see for hardware is going to be astronomical, to the point where even Nvidia essentially admitted that they're not even making GPUs for gamers anymore. They essentially admitted that they're making GPUs for AI now at this point. It's unbelievable, man. Like, gamers, essentially, the hardware, they doesn't matter to them. Like, they're not even at the forefront of Nvidia's mind when it comes to making products anymore. And the RAM is just going to be the first, you know, sign that things are clearly not going the way that most gamers would want. So even if you do want to eventually upgrade to a high-end computer rig, that is now going to cost you 2 to 3 times more than it ever did, which is going to make things like the Steam machine even more attractive to people that want to get in on PC gaming but can't necessarily afford the rig because of, you know, whatever, price increases, RAM increases, whatever.
Again, I might buy that if it comes out, assuming I got my budget and assuming I get monetized, though. Look. So, ow. Again, right now, I really don't care. 4K gaming, I don't give a damn anymore. Now, I'm showing you this part. Again, I'm showing you this because of one thing, folks. If a game can still be playable, if it can still run both on the PC or at least on OBS, that's all that matters, okay? Honestly, at first I wanted to go for 4K, but then again, realized the price have already increased. Yeah, I think I'll stick with what I have right now. Yeah, stick what I have for now.
Well done, team. Now, let's see about stopping this behemoth.
Blasted. All controls have been locked down, except those on the upper bridge.
Correct. We'll have to reach the top deck and stop the Omega base from there. Sounds like a plan. Good luck.
Afford the rig because of, you know, whatever, price increases, RAM increases, whatever. So it says there is an increasing concern that skyrocketing RAM prices will impact high-end gaming, not just in the short term, but the long term. With the explosive growth of generative AI data centers are hovering over on the world's memory and storage supply, sparking price hikes that some experts could fear could last for decades. Cheap SSDs and DRAM and HDDs are pretty much a thing of the past,
DRAM?
with prices rising as AI demand outstrips the supply. This has already caused price rises, with PC retailer CyberPower PC announcing a hike for memory modules across the US and the UK due to market conditions. I love that they continue, doesn't matter what industry you're in, they always use the term market conditions and they try to say, yeah, listen, we want to raise the prices, but we're looking for something to blame. So we're going to blame you guys participating in the market. That's what we're going to do, because the scalpers or the people who are buying this up no matter what the price, because they need to utilize AI for whatever their business is, yeah, we're just going to blame them and we're going to just make out with crazy money right now. So thank you for all the money we're getting on RAM right now. It's unbelievable. It really is. Now, again, guys, whether you agree or disagree with the removal of the AI label on Steam, for example, I've always said that Steam is one of the more, I guess you could say, consumer-friendly services that are out there right now. They definitely do everything they can to try to be as transparent as possible when it comes to what you're at least purchasing. I don't think they give the same, grace to their developers that are trying to upload their video games, as we have seen with a lot of the censorship lately. But overall, they are the better one out of pretty much all these other platforms. And I just find it insane that Tim is trying to make them be less transparent. Why would they be less transparent? Steam has gotten where they've gotten because they are more transparent. Steam is one of the only services that are still providing player concurrent numbers on video games to see how well they are performing and ranking them without actually hiding the information or trying to hide it and sell it to you down the line. They're the only ones still openly giving it. So transparency is important. It is very key for customer trust and customer branding. And I really feel like trying to remove that is going to cause a precedent that Tim Sweeney would love to take advantage of. Either that, or maybe he's trying to mess up Steam from within. I really don't know at the end of the day. But keep in mind, guys, it's not just Epic Games that is under fire right now for the AI usage. You know, we covered the other day, but I'll just bring it up here again to remind people. But Black Ops 7 is currently getting attacked right now because of their obvious AI usage in their calling cards. If you guys missed that, I'll put it up on screen for you to see again.
Yes, I've seen
the calling cards are essentially all Studio Ghibli calling cards, so very obviously made with AI. And these companies are trying to experiment with what people are going to be okay with swallowing. That's really what it is. They're trying to test you, the player, to see what you're willing to accept when it comes to AI art. And right now, they're starting with the small things, a couple of DLCs here and there, a couple of calling cards here and there. They're starting with the small things, and if you accept it, they will fire the people that used to make them, and they will get rid of them and then replace them with AI, and then they'll try to push even more until eventually it gets to the point where AI has completely taken over and is developing the game on its own. And at this point, they have already conditioned most gamers, sadly, and I hate to say this, most gamers are conditioned to accept the fact that a lot of these video games are being released broken day one.
Yeah,
it's a sad truth, right? Some people don't, right?
Well,
me personally, I really hate it to the point where I don't even buy Bethesda games day one anymore. I haven't for many years because of their just lack of trust, right? I don't have trust in Bethesda. They have completely messed it up. They've released their games so broken, they take forever to fix them. I'm good. I'll just wait till it's $7, $5. I'm good. It's going to get there eventually at some point anyway.
So first off, shout out to Hypnotic.
Are we battling supermodels this time?
So again, shout out to Hypnotic. I would say this, folks. I'm like him, okay? I don't want to buy games day one. I used to, but no more. For me, when it comes to Capcom games, okay? Look, I used to always like Capcom games. I want to buy it. Don't forget, I buy Resident Evil 4 Remake on my birthday, okay? About 3 days after it release. I didn't buy it day one.
Target in range.
Okay, who's next?
Oh. Okay. Why are you coming? Run it. Okay. Boom. Aha. So again, when it comes to AI, I think it's useful for experienced developers who know what they're doing, okay? Boom. Ow. Again, I want to say that when it comes to AI, we just... What was I supposed to say? I'm lost for words, but I would say this. When it comes to Capcom games, after Monster Hunter Wild, I no longer want to see Capcom games. I'll just play the old ones. Yeah.
Next time, I want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like fish.
Oh. again, after Monster Hunter Wild, I really have lost trust in Capcom, okay? Not because of their characters, okay? It's because of Denuvo. As long as Denuvo's still around, it is pretty much difficult to do so. Again, buying games day one is not my preference, okay? I will never buy games day one. Never ever. I will always wait for a sale. Oh. So, like for example, there's one game I think I wanted to play. Oh. And that is called Them and Us.
They're advancing.
In Steam, I believe in Steam, that the game was about 60 Malaysian ringgit, but when I look at loaded, because there is a website I use when it comes to buying Steam keys, which is called Loaded. It was originally called CD Key, okay? Before it's renamed Loaded. Whoa. What is it behind that? Sorry, didn't see that. Again. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. So, basically, I love Steam, okay? I love the transparency and all that. It's good to have Steam. I'm certain all of you use Steam too. No? And frankly, look, I know most people say Steam numbers don't count, but look, one thing. Give me a minute.
Situation's bad.
Now look, I can tell some people will say Steam numbers don't count, but look, Steam offers transparency, okay? That's what we want. Gamers want transparency. That's it. Boom. Yes. So without transparency, you can't tell. Well, you don't know what they are doing. No? Everyone wants transparency. I too want transparency. Look. Tim Sweeney really needs to stop. I think, Tim, you need to lay off any alcohol, okay? Because the way I see his wording, he must have drank too much rum or wine. Oh, ow. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Next time, I
Tim,
want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like old cheese.
Nobody wants AI, but at the same time, we want transparency, okay? And also, when it comes to translation, translation is good. Again, like I said, for AI, if they want to use it for translation, then go for it. Nobody's saying otherwise. Well, some people don't like it. Look at this game, okay? Let me show you this. Oh, ow. Good.
Guess you didn't want a piece
Just
of me.
like a super soldier serum.
Bam, bing, boom. Boom. Oh, fall down. Again. Everyone wants transparency. And again, as for AI, yeah. How am I supposed to say this? Give me a minute, let me just get rid of this. So here's the thing. I think for game journalists, their choices is either stop attacking the consumer. Give me a minute. Sorry, there's a lot of things that...
Dispatch another squad.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
So again, like I said, let me just be clear if you guys didn't hear it. So when it comes to AI replacing journalists, yeah, I don't think anyone is going to miss them. Nobody misses the journalists. Oh, ow. Because frankly, video game journalists is been infected by activists. How do we know? And before any of you ask if that's...
I hope this wasn't your
And before any of you ask, that is false, listen here. Look at the Metacritics. Black Ops 7. The Metacritics, the critics have high score, but the audience have low score. Why is that? Why is that?
Before you go to the top, we got a couple of new concerns you might want to address. Security shows some very sensitive labs have been broken into. One lab contains a device known as the neural inhibitor, and another has plans that could be used to